rather be you than me. What's with we? Everywhere I go, I see no one really wants to be free. It's like we'd rather be you than me. What's with we? You need to be. What's up, y'all? It's your girl Chanel from Complex Simplicity. Happy Thursday, Friday. Hope that you all had an amazing day, that you have a great weekend. I will say a early happy Father's Day to all the fathers and father figures out there. Please enjoy your day, bask in it, and continue to raise children, young people into great citizens, right? So I'm touching bases. It's been a little bit since I last did a vlog. I can catch you up to speed on what's been going on in my life. I know my last vlog had a lot to do with when we feel like our value isn't being seen, or when we feel like we may be a little insecure regarding our abilities in certain areas, how 9 out of 10 times the people around us see our potential, our talents, and our giftings clearly. They actually do see our value. There could be reasons as to why it may not be communicated or shown, but to keep pressing forward, to keep doing what you have to do. You know, a lot of times we have to serve as our own source of support and motivation to get the damn thing going. So that was the last vlog that I did. Since then, you know, at my job, you know, still plugging away, learning as much as I can, working hard, not getting discouraged, you know, and understanding that, you know, it's okay, Chanel. Your time will come, you know, and to embrace this weird phase and period of learning. I think it's really a great focus point for me to just learn, absorb all the information that I need, because big plans are on the way. I truly wholeheartedly feel and truly believe. And so, you know, still plugging away at my brand and, you know, really trying to strategically mastermind and figure out the next steps, and, you know, developing projects that I plan on working on and executing. And so, you know, sorry, y'all, it's a little bit of, there we go. You know, just that's kind of been my life between my day job and, you know, my hustle. When I'm not at my day job, and keeping up with family and friends and all of that jazz. You know, you still go through relational issues, whether it's with my husband, whether it's with family, he is family, but whether it's with friends, you know, but just still figuring out how to balance it all, maintain it all without losing myself, losing my mind, and yeah, trying to live each day with gratitude. There's something to be said about that. Living each day with gratitude, even when things are not going my way, right? So yes, recently, you know, I think I've shared this before, my college did its final farewell this past Saturday on June 8th. The campus is closing down that I resided at for 4 years, that I dormed at. Nyack College, shout out to all the Nyackers. It'll always be attached to great and fond memories. When I think of the day that I was on the campus this past Saturday, you know, I didn't know how nostalgic I would feel. I didn't know if I would get emotional. I just didn't know, but I went with an open heart, open mind, and, you know, I think was able to bask in the moment. I had arrived there naturally before my friends who were coming up, because I live 15 minutes away. I live in that area. And so I had time to kind of walk around and have that moment by myself, and just reminisce. And one thing that after I processed everything a few days later, a couple of my fellow college mates were, you know, posting on Facebook, you know, just their thoughts and, you know, whatever it was that visit brought to them. And for me, you know, for some reason, the theme of forward movement kept popping into my mind and in my heart, right? It's so easy for us when we're being nostalgic to like stay there, or Sometimes when the memories are so great, or even sometimes when they're not so great, it's easy to stay stuck in the past and always want to turn around and look behind us as opposed to embracing what's to come. And for some reason, when I was able to say farewell to the campus, that environment that I literally lived, where I lived for 4 years of my life from the ages of 18 to 21, I just kept thinking of forward movement, and I did have my nostalgic moments and memories, don't get me wrong, and when my friends came, we were able to kind of have those memories together or discuss them, right? But for me, it was like, wow, Chanel, look how far you've come. You still have a way to go, but look how far you ultimately have come. I was 18, 19, 20, 21 when I lived there, and the things that I've accomplished after college and the necessary experiences I went through while going to college that has kind of prepared me in some ways for certain things in adulthood. Just seeing, I've always had a strong sense of who I was, but just seeing now as a 35-year-old woman how firm and strong I am and who I am and how settled I am with who I am, if that makes sense. And, it makes me excited for what's to come. What's going to happen 15 years from now, right? What am I going to be somebody's mama? Am I going to have this empire of complex simplicity that I dream it could be? Where will my husband and I be? Will we still be living where we live? Will we be living in another state? Will we, be going strong, God willing, and then will we be able to have this story like our parents married for 30 plus years? You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited for what's to come, and not even just with me. I'm excited to see what's to come with my family. I'm excited to see what's to come with my friends, right? I definitely am that kind of person where I want all of us to kick ass in life and grow and flourish and be clear on who we are and love who we are and, achieve our wildest dreams and be successful. I don't just want and will that for my own life. I want and will that for all of my loved ones' lives as well. And I can't wait to see 10 years from now, 4 years from now, 2 years from now, where we all are, and just even being up at the campus with some of my friends and, even seeing how far some of them have come, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, it was a great calm and peaceful campus. I didn't realize, I might have taken it for granted while I was there dorming, how beautiful our campus actually was. And so I was able to kind of soak that in and take that in this past weekend. And the view, you see the bridge, you see the water, it's just beautiful, But, it also made me, like I said, think about the future and where will we all be, Lord willing, God sparing all of our lives, where will we be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now? And, I just wanted to put that out there to encourage us all. It's easy to stay stuck in memories, whether they're great in between or not so good, but it's also good to look forward to what's to come, what's ahead, to forge forward, to walk forward. Not always worrying about who's going to be to the right and left of us, and not always trying to keep everybody with you. I do believe that, in order for us to move forward at times in life, everybody else is not able to come, and I've experienced that as well. And what I will say as it pertains to Nyack College is I am thankful and I am grateful, once again, the theme of gratitude, for my experiences, for the people that I've met along my way, along my journey. Whether we are in one another's lives or not, whether we're in one another's lives in a small capacity or a large capacity, whether we don't speak or we do, I am thankful and grateful for everyone that I've met, all the interactions that I've had, and I'm ready for what's next. Another thing that I've been kind of really doing is being even more balls to the wall, as I often say, with my brand, with complex simplicity, and trying to get it out to the masses, right? I am not the best at networking. I've put that out there before. I feel a lot of times uncomfortable discussing my brand, just bringing it up, and like, I don't want to be that person that's in social settings and only wants to talk about what they're doing in life and their brand. But I do understand that I have to step it up a bit and can't just not mention things until people mention it to me. And so, hours like these, midnight, 1, 2 a.m., these are the hours that a lot of times I'm trying to do what I like to call my outreach for complex simplicity, my networking, right? Whether I'm reaching out to high profile people, whether I'm reaching out to people who are not high profile, whoever I believe is dope and I'm inspired by, sending them messages just about what I'm about and wanting to collaborate in some way. I've been trying to step it up like that, even with people I do know. Like while I was on NIAC college campus, people will always bring up my brand in some way, whether it's my music, the EP that I have, the simplicity of me, whether it's just in general, maybe the most recent thing I did with Doobie Powell. Like it always comes up in conversation. And so I've been forcing myself to be more comfortable about really just discussing my purpose, my plan, what it's about. One of my homies I went to college with, shout out to you, JR, spoke to me about the importance of networking and, wants to be able to kind of help me network in some ways with people who he feels, it would make sense for me to network with. And so, it's all about word of mouth. It's all about, talking to people, rubbing shoulders with people, overall networking. And that's another thing that I've been trying to really get better at. It's a skill that I'm not the greatest at, and I'm trying to improve upon that. And just really being fearless and balls to the wall, regardless of whether my website doesn't look as polished as some who may have professional people doing theirs, whether or not I may not look flawless on the camera, which is on purpose, right? My brand is about being transparent, stripping ourselves down and like bearing our souls, you know what I'm saying? Still having fun, still rocking out to some great music, having some great moments, but at the same time having that candid talk, that real talk, that deep talk, controversial talk. And so I don't necessarily feel the need to be glammed up, I feel like sometimes it doesn't always align with my brand. It doesn't mean come looking like a hot mess, but just, being me, looking like how I look on a normal day to day, right? Not being afraid to not wear makeup on camera, embracing beauty, flaws, all of that jazz. So, I get, for me, probably the first 2 years that I was doing this, I would say, oh no, I can't reach out to that person because, my brand, it still seems a little makeshift or it's not to this level. But now I'm like, yo, it is what it is. I believe in what I'm doing. I believe in my content. Once again, shout out to Doobie Powell and Isaac for his manager for giving me a chance with the whole album release, because that also really helped, I don't want to say to boost my confidence, but to just confirm what I felt like I already knew about my brand and what I can do, what this brand can do, how it can help others, how it can inspire others. And so once one person gave me a shot, gave me some kind of a chance that cracked that door open, I was just gonna go for it, So I'm at the point now where my attitude is just go for it. You never know. If they shut you down, turn you down, because that happens. Keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it, you never know. That's one of my phrases I always say to my loved ones. Give it a shot because you never know. And I always also have to make sure that I'm walking in what I'm talking, right? And so for me, you never know. So I'll take a shot. I'll put it out there. I'll reach out to people who I'm inspired by. Surprisingly enough, there are people who do respond that are high profile. I won't get into logistics and names just yet. I'd rather come out with that stuff when something happens. Like with the whole Doobie Powell thing, really didn't say anything about it. I was working with that team for months. But when I got that shot, when that opportunity happened, that's when I actually, spoke and revealed, or spoke about it and revealed what was happening. So I won't reveal any names or anything like that because I'm still in the early process of trying to make certain things happen. But just really having the balls to go for it. Like, yo, I ain't got nothing to lose. I believe in myself. I know what I'm capable of. I know my abilities. A lot of the feedback I've been getting from people who I know or who know me that have been kind of checking out little things or clips of what I do, they're like, you have the personality for this. Whether it's interviewing people, whether it's just whatever, like you have the personality for it. And I get that, I'm clear on that. And so I'm like, I'm going for it. Like I said, at the end of the day, I have nothing to lose, right? And so I want to encourage you out there with whatever it is that you're trying to do, whatever it is that you're building for yourself, whatever risks or chances you're thinking of taking, you have nothing to lose. Unless you're putting up top dollars, then maybe that's a different story, right? But at the end of the day, you have nothing to lose. Like, give it a shot. And even if people don't see your value, connecting with the last vlog I did, right? If people don't see your value, they don't see your vision, they don't get it, they're not interested, that's okay too. Don't let that make you feel, like you're not good enough. Always believe in yourself. Like I've said at the start of Complex Simplicity, I felt like the only person that got it was my mother. And maybe it's because I was in her womb for 9 months, 10 months. Maybe it's because, I said 10 months because they say a woman technically is pregnant for 10 months. But anyway, maybe it was because she carried me in her womb. Maybe it's because she's my mom and she knows me, right? And so she believed in it and she got it from day one. It even took my husband a while to like get it and catch on, friends, so I get it. Not everybody is going to necessarily just get what I'm doing or what my brand is really about. And even a question I got from my boy the other day was, what is it you're trying to do? That's always a hard question for me to kind of answer clearly, I feel, because I know that I'm trying to do quite a few things. But at the end of the day, I want to be known as a content creator, whether that's me interviewing people, covering big time events such as album releases, movie premieres, whether that's me being on a panel or like a red talk table discussion with other great, amazing, inspiring people discussing deep-rooted issues, which is another thing. I've been doing this since 2016, right? Red Table Talk just came out. You know what I'm saying? So the world is, I think, more so in a place where they want and crave this kind of content, right? And now for me, it's like, girl, you've been on this wave, right? You've been creating content that is controversial, that is empowering, that addresses the pink elephant in the room, that promotes healthy self-esteem and self-love and self-worth and all of those things. You've been on this wave from 2016. You've been doing this for 3 years already. Now it's about keeping the content going, trying to make the content even sharper, better, but more so, even aside from that, because I always felt like my content was pretty strong, just getting it out to the masses. And so that's really what I'm trying to focus on and what I'm trying to do, stepping up how I'm doing what I'm doing, right? I have a couple of projects that I'm developing as we speak, where my other goal is to step it up as far as how I'm presenting this content. And so yes, like, please don't be discouraged. Go for it. Once again, you have nothing to lose. Do you? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I feel like, who've been able to build empires or businesses or to create content that actually is caught and shown to the masses, you have to start somewhere. They've all started somewhere, they're normal people like you and I. And so we all have something to share, a story to tell, purpose to live out, right? We all have those things. It's just a matter of tapping into what your thing is. You know what I'm saying? Tapping into how you relay and share your gift, your purpose with the world. And so for me, it's been a hell of a ride for the past 3 years of me really figuring out this whole brand situation and where I'm trying to go. So to double back to what I said before, I think I kind of went on a slight tangent. When I was asked by my homie, what is it that I want to do? And I said it was a hard answer for me to give with a nice, cute little bow. Ultimately, I told him I'm into podcasting. I'm here for those kind of opportunities. I'm here for being a part of a panel, whether it's a panel on a podcast, a panel on a TV show. I'm here for interviewing people. I love to have great, candid talk, conversations with inspiring, dope people who've gone through real life shit. What else? I'm here for continuing being writing, so to speak. I did a visual book, so more so maybe that's more of my thing or my niche there. Of I definitely am going to do another visual book discussing probably more so where I am at my life at this point. We discussed childhood up until like this point, but now picking up and discussing the things that I've gone through and learned at this stage of my life. Love and all that kind of stuff. So I'm here to do another visual book. I'm even here, if I were to be blessed to get a book deal, to do a written book, written, audio, visual, all of that. And I'm always here for music. Music will always be a passion of mine. Currently, I'm trying to build up my team now as we speak, as far as producers. There's a producer in particular that I've been communicating with that I would love to work with, and so hopefully that's able to happen. And so there are a couple of things that this brand or with this brand that I would like to do further and to another level, so to speak. And so that's why it's probably hard for me to answer that question in a way that doesn't seem like confusing, but pretty much my message is the common thread that ties it together. The message in my music, the message in my like my videos, the message, in any kind of book or visual book that I would like to do. That's the common thread between, or that ties everything in that I do. The message, once again, the message of complex simplicity is knowing who you are, loving who you are, seeking to be emotionally balanced, being fulfilled, knowing your worth, treating people with love, not being afraid to ask the difficult questions or to address the elephant in the room, not being afraid to stand alone when you're standing for something that you believe in, always treating people with love and respect and kindness regardless of how you really feel about them, knowing who's around you and who should be around you. Like, all these things are constant messages of complex simplicity. And so any project that I put my hands to, whether it is a podcast, whether it's a bona fide radio show slot that I get, whether it's me interviewing an amazing soul, whether it's me writing a book, whether it is me singing and doing music, that will always be the message that's behind everything that I do. And so it's getting people to like get down with it, to see it, being able to build my community, my tribe of people who are loyal, who would like me rock with her. I would love to be able to have, I've been trying to have a complex simplicity event for 3 years now, right? And I know that when it's supposed to happen, it will happen. Everything will align and be in position for it to happen naturally. And so I just continue having the ideas and materializing different ways that I would have such an event that will tie in my music and tie in all the other things that I do, and having a panel of great women, great people in general, where we can have a deep conversation, jamming out to like dope and bomb music, selling my merch and having it right there available, like all of that. That's right, y'all, I have merch too. And even my merch, my nice little hoodies and like my sexy tees that are like kind of falls off one shoulder. The message is empowering. They have empowering sayings like "so bomb," meaning I'm bomb. Dopeness, like things to make us remember how great we are, and for us to really like feel it, you know what I'm saying, and believe it, And so I have so many ideas, right? And it's just a matter of strategically knowing what's the next step. And so I felt like I worked hard for that one moment with Doobie Powell, all of the 3 years, or almost 2.5 to almost 3 years of content that I had been doing consistently led me up to that opportunity. Now that we had that opportunity, we completed it. Now it's like, what's the next best step? The next big step, or what's the step that makes the most sense, And so it's always, I feel like at night, my mind is always racing. I'm always thinking and trying to figure out, what's the next thing, And so, yeah, at the same time, I understand that I gotta be about that. Like, I can't wait all the time for opportunities to come to me. I'm big on, you gotta create opportunities for yourself too, And so that's why I reach out to people, or, I'm always developing projects and creating things. Like that whole visual book thing, that was something that I materialized and created from paper into it actually happening, where I talk about my life and how I was raised and how that has affected me to be emotionally balanced. And so, sometimes it's okay to create your own opportunities. I feel like I know a lot of dope, amazing people, as I often say, who are, whether they're trying to be in the entertainment industry, whether they're trying to be, in the business field, whether they're trying to be in the education field, whatever may have you. I feel like sometimes a lot of them sit and wait for opportunities to come. Now, I'm here for that because that's the easiest way, right? Real talk, it is so much easier for someone to call you or knock on your door and say, hey, we've been watching you and we want to give you this opportunity. But to keep it real, the world and the day and age that we live in, a lot of times you're going to have to create your own opportunities. You're going to have to just, say, hey, I'm not going to wait for them to give me a seat at the table. I'm not going to wait for them to knock down my door. I'm going to do my own thing, and to be honest with you, that has gotten me by far farther than me waiting for someone to give me an opportunity, waiting for someone to tell me you're good enough, waiting for someone to say, we believe in what you're doing. I'm still here for that. Please don't misinterpret what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing to wait on opportunities or work hard so that opportunities can come your way. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is that while you're waiting and working hard for such opportunities to come your way, it is also okay to create your own opportunities and not wait all the time for someone to say, we like you, we think you're great, we want to work with you. Sometimes it's okay to say, hey, I've been a fan of yours for X amount of years. I believe in what you're doing. I believe that you are so inspiring and I would love to work or collaborate with you in some kind of way. I'm always transparent that I do not have this large following, this large community of people who buy into everything that I say. I'm very transparent and clear about that. But then I always end my outreach with, but I believe in myself. I know my abilities. And I believe you should take a chance on me. And it hasn't steered me wrong. Now, are there some people who will never respond or pay me any mind? Absolutely. Are there some people who actually hit me back? For sure. Which is why I often say, don't count out the underdog. Don't overlook them. They could be that very person. Just because the world doesn't know who they are, they can be that very person that even helps you, who are a high profile person, go farther. Like, don't ever sleep on the unknown, the underdog, so to speak. And the beauty of being an underdog, for those who are like, well, why would you consider yourself that? For me, the beauty and comfort of being unknown and being an underdog, so to speak, is the fact you ain't got nothing to lose. I ain't got shit to lose, y'all. And so, hey, sometimes that's an okay position to be in when you have nothing to lose. It's always harder when you have a lot to lose, right? So I'm building to get to that point where it's like, ooh, we got a lot to lose. We got a lot on the line. I don't know about that. But for now, I ain't got nothing to lose. So I'm going for it. Pew, I'm there. So that's kind of what I've been up to a lot as well, in between the day job and getting good at that. With other things other than selling. Selling is something that surprisingly I naturally was pretty good at, but all of the other things that involve a business, right? And it's only helping me in building my brand. And that's why I think God, I'm big on divine purpose and order. That's why I think God allowed for the social work 13-year career to end in a crazy way, but end. And then for me to go into this luxury retail business realm, because I feel like business is business, right? Numbers are numbers, consumers are consumers. Like, all of that is still going to help me build this brand and has been helping me build this brand a little further. It's been helping me to look at things a little bit differently, help me to look at things from more of a consumer business type perspective. Whereas before I probably was only looking at things in a professional sense from a social work perspective. Now I have like that business knowledge I'm gaining, and just understanding that world more and more day by day, and it's only helping me build this brand as well. So I get why at this stage and phase of my life where I'm working now, I get why it has to be that way. And even having to sell, when you're selling to people, that's like kicking game in a way. That's like having the ability to convert, which is a huge word that's used in the retail industry. The ability to convert people, to change their minds, to lock in, get them to wanna, even if they walked in the store only wanting to window wish, they didn't want to buy anything, but they left that store with a handbag. I had a returning customer who I'm gonna turn into a client the other day come in, and she just came in because she had bought a phone accessory and it broke, so we replaced it for her. But you know, I gotta hit you with we got a great summer sale happening. 50% off select styles that are great styles. I work on the retail end. So you're not gonna get, you know, these sales like you get on the outlet side of my company. So when the retail side has these sales, you better like take advantage of it and buy what you're gonna buy, right? Quality you're getting quality leather. I work for Coach, right? You're getting quality items, luxury style, right? More affordable than the Louis Vuittons and all the other brands that are considered to be higher end, but you're actually getting more quality leather, right? Anyway, so, you know, she just came in to have a phone accessory replaced and ended up walking out with a pair of bomb shades, sunglasses that I even have personally, and a bomb backpack, right? So it's like having the ability to convert people who she only came into the store to get something fixed or to inquire about how she can get her phone accessory fixed, and walked out of there and probably dropped almost $400, right? So same, that could apply with this. I'm trying to reach the masses. I'm trying to get people to buy into complex simplicity, buy into it, meaning believe in this movement, be loyal to this movement, be down for the movement to the point where maybe you will buy a t-shirt, or to the point where you will buy that visual book, or to the point where you will come to that event, right? And so being able to convert people is an important skill to have. So it all ties in, it all makes sense. I'm a believer that life doesn't just happen. Everything happens for a reason, right? And so that's a lot of what I've been working on. Day job, late night hustle, brand building, move with finesse. We took a little bit of a sabbatical, but it's about to be on again, and even trying to strategize that, which is even harder actually, because everybody, I feel like the dance world is super saturated. So trying to really figure out how to maneuver that and what's going to make us stand out and be different. And I really believe in my partner in crime, Denise, when it comes to move with finesse. I believe she is super talented, and to be honest with y'all, the plan has always been for me to eventually kind of back out of being in front of the camera with her with all the dancing, and more so being the mastermind behind the scenes and letting her kind of be the face of that brand and being the person to more so dance, so to speak. You know, I'll be there for dance classes and all of that. Not saying I'm going to do this right away, but the ultimate plan is for her to be like the face of the brand, and me to kind of be the one behind the scenes handling all the business stuff, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, she's gifted at dancing. I can dance, but I'm not like gifted at dancing, right? I'm great with being a visionary. I'm great with making things work and making things happen, so to speak, you know, but I really believe that part of her gifting, I'm not going to say her only gifting is dance, because it's not, but part of her natural talent and ability and gifting is dancing. And I feel like with me, and eventually, I haven't even spoken to her fully about this, but me eventually kind of fading to the back and not being on camera as much when it comes to Move with Finesse, I think that would even help the brand soar, because it really would just be her and her being able to dance at a whole other level, right? And being able to, at that point, mold it to where it is different from what everyone else is doing. And me, you know, I'll be here and there, You know, every now and then you may pop up and see me. This is how I envision it. But more so, you know, starting it with her to help her build the confidence to know that she's dope and can do this for sure. And then me eventually being the partnership that kind of fades to the back and handles more of the business matters. Like if we're traveling for dance classes, handling, you know, being the one to do all the behind the scenes things that are necessary in order for a class to happen, you know, being the one to register everybody and make sure that the payments went through, and, you know, to market and that kind of stuff, you know, and her more so be the one teaching the class, on the camera, doing the dancing, you know, and so even still, masterminding Move with Finesse and figuring all of that out, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, ways that'll make it successful and still wrapped up with the same complex simplicity message, right? Because anything I put my hands to do or be involved in is always going to be about empowering and encouraging and motivating others, right? So that's a lot of what's been going on. And so I'll just wrap up this lovely vlog with saying, keep pressing forward. We are halfway into the year, y'all. Can you believe that 2020 is 6 months away? That's been like a post that's been going around on social media, and that kind of puts things into perspective. Y'all know I always say a year goes by like this, right? I remember just saying Happy New Year, right? Now we're halfway into the year. Summer is just about to hit, which means winter's around the corner. And so whatever it is that you're goaling for yourself to do, that you desire to do, that you want to do, make it happen. Be balls to the wall. Don't be afraid. You ain't got nothing to lose unless you're putting up top dollar for some kind of investment, but you have nothing to lose, you know, so go for it. Please don't let high profile celebrities and people make you feel like they're way here. Yes, their pay grade may be very different. Yes, they may live different everyday lives as far as their houses, vacations, their closets. But at the end of the day, we're all humans. We're all people. We all have issues. We all go through problems in life, hard times, trials and tribulations. It's par for the course. We all have to deal with it. I'm always trying to brace myself for what's to come next in the difficulty area of life. You know, but I understand that it is necessary in order to push us to grow. It's necessary for us to reach wherever it is we're supposed to reach. And that's what also helps us to have a purpose. That's what helps us to have a story. That's what helps to heal and encourage others, right? And so go for it. Don't stand in your own way. Don't always feel like you have to wait for someone else to give you an opportunity. It is okay to create your own. And you know what I'm saying? Like, kill it. Life is short. Y'all know I say this all the time, like a broken record. At the end of the day, listen, I gotta make the most out of my 24 hours. And this is where I quote Charlemagne. I have to make the most out of my 24 hours. So if that means I'm going to bed at 2 in the morning, which is going to happen tonight, and I have to get up at 7:45 to get ready for work, then that's what I'm gonna do. I'm building, I'm grinding. It's gonna happen, right? You know, but like, just know that you're dope. What you want for your life is going to happen. Work hard. Go for it. Don't be scared. Like, do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Of course, legally, nothing crazy. But do what you have to do to get to where it is you want to get, you know? And don't be afraid. Like I said, stop looking at these celebrities and high-profile people like they're above us. They're not. Their shit stinks too. Like, you know, go for it and let's do this. Let's build. We all have stories to tell. Ava DuVernay, right? That Netflix series or that everybody's talking about. Like, I love when people take risks. I love when my people take risks and tell stories that nobody wants to tell, addresses difficult topics. Like, let's go for it, y'all. Now is the time. This is the day and age. Let's go for it. Do it. Tell those stories. You're going to help somebody out there. Anyway, let me stop rambling. Continue to rock out with your girl by going to complexsimplicity.com. And until next time.